This week's sponsor, Indacloud, makes legal hemp-derived THC products that are actually good. Gummies, vapes, and pre-rolls that are strong, tasty, and get the job done. So, if you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress because Indacloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus free shipping. Just use code LEWIS, LEWIS, or click the link in our show notes to claim your discount.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello there, and welcome to the 226th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled Toy Soldiers. Yes, that's an apt title, really, considering our boss decided that he needed a big parade, a big military parade to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday. And gee, just by accident, his birthday was that day. And so they'd be celebrating his too. And is this ludicrous? Yeah, it's not only ludicrous, it's appalling. Why? Well, for starters, it's $45 million that might have gone better to kind of help the troops in a number of different ways, like to maybe help fund medical things that needed to be funded instead of going to court and trying to fight the medical things as they have over a number of issues during the course of my life and the course of those who served in the military. And really to maybe just to give them the $45 million to have a party at all the bases so that they could just, or fly their families in so they could see them or fly them home to many of their families. Something that would make some sense other than whether the $16 million that will be needed to repair the roads in Washington, we'll see if that's true. I don't know. That's the number they keep saying. They keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it. And of course, they're probably lying because the president doesn't believe this or the boss. I'm sorry, I've slipped there. But I'm here, as you can see, in my cable access studio bunker. It would be a bunker, but it's above ground. But maybe if I can get some sort of really intense metal over these windows and against these walls, I'll be safe from what appears to be the whole world losing its fucking mind. Is Israel, goes after Iran for and then they say that that we weren't involved. Well, I'm sure we knew, and I'm sure that somebody has to stop Netanyahu at some point, don't they? Okay, isn't enough fucking enough, huh? Is it good that the Iranians could have nuclear weapons eventually? No, of course it's not good. And do I think it's good to push them in this fashion and not try to come up with some sort of a solution, even though I don't think that the man in charge, the boss, is the person who can give us the solution because he's too busy playing with toy soldiers, and that's what they are to him. And don't bullshit me, okay, about it. Don't tell me he has any fucking respect for the military when he does not arrive to see when those who have been who've died while on duty, that he doesn't go to Delaware to pay his respects, that he barely has a comprehension. It seems that when he has to be at Arlington Cemetery, that he would call certain soldiers, but he call them out by name, that they have not done things, such as Senator John McCain, who went through hell and back and did things that were way beyond anyone's scope, certainly his, showed a courage that isn't even imaginable for the boss. And he's out there watching because I don't know why we don't have parades like this that they do in Russia and North Korea, because that's all they have. We have a whole lot fucking else. Why don't you have people marching down, the winners of all the science fairs? And I'm not saying we don't honor our military, but there's a lot of other ways to do it. Okay? And was it good that is it good that many of the families probably came out to see their husbands, their wives, their sons, their daughters, their relatives, to honor them? Yes. But shouldn't we find another way to pay attention to them? Because God knows, until I went on that USO tour, which was life-changing, and I've said it 100 times, if not more, and it's absolutely true, that I had no connection to the military whatsoever. Ever since we dropped the whole concept of having a conscripted army, we have lost touch, our communities, with those who serve and protect. And to do this during the time that he had the balls to send troops into Los Angeles, all right, and the Marines, and more so the Marines, all 700, 7,000. The numbers we get, just to keep up with the numbers, requires a mentality that's huge. It's not even a mentality, a fucking storage bin in everyone's brain. And that he did this, and I have friends out there, and they're not raving socialists. And stop saying everybody who does something, okay, and protests is a socialist. Just stop it. All right? They're not. All right? We don't have a raging socialist party. They're not out there hiding as Democrats. They're Democrats. And you know what that means? They're capitalists. Okay? Just, for those of you who don't know, take a look at the fucking amount of goddamn fucking emails and messages they send out talking about the money that they need. All right? And the same thing that is done by the Republicans. So stop it. These people are just talking about their city. And the fact is that they know more about it than all of the television cameras that are saying, well, look at this, look at that. Okay? Was there some crime? Obviously. There always is when it comes to these type of protests. And there was more, I believe, after the push came from Washington. And in order for him to get a sense of how much power that he really has. This is ludicrous. Okay? He's in a fucking sandbox playing with everything. And we're supposed to wait around until his diaper is full and somebody comes along and takes him out of there and gets him to a bathroom and wipes his ass. Now, I can't even say God damn it, it's enough. Lunacy. It's just perversion. They're soldiers. They have given and sacrificed on a level he can't imagine, his family can't imagine. He's down in Mar-a-Lago or at Trumpo Plaza, in all of the golf courses everywhere around. And boy, we're going to have the greatest thing. Stop it. Well, these socialists out there, no. All right? They're people who give a shit. They're people who are protesting. 98% of them. There is a 2% that use these for their own, it's the same way that he uses it. Okay? It's a balance on either side when it comes to this bullshit. And you know what? I'm intolerant of both ends of it. So don't sit there and point a fucking finger. I'm tired of that. All right? And what do you mean? I go on and I get comments and comments and comments. Not a ton, but enough that you just go, what the fuck are these people paying attention to? Both sides when it comes to nonsense and bullshit and hooey. Should they have been out there fucking painting shit on the walls and fucking, no, of course not. And can the police in Los Angeles take care of it? Yes. Did they say they could take care of it? Yes. So you know what you do? You allow the state to take care of it, because that state that you went into has an economy that's like the third largest in the world. It's like you invaded another country, only it's your own. God. Oh, boy. And I did, for those of you who are, going, wow, he's gone over the top. Sammy is here with me, and I know that pets are supposed to calm you down. Yes, I have for those of you who don't know, I've got a new puppy, very cute, adorable, and he's lying here, and I've screamed for the past whatever it was, and there's no timer on this thing. And so I've screamed and I've yelled, and he has not moved. It's unbelievable. When this dog passes out, whatever is in his system, or maybe he's narcoleptic, I don't know. But when he goes, he goes. So I've got, if you can see back here, supplies, and in case They have pounds of beef jerky and K rations just in case things go awry. And they sure do feel like it, huh? Don't they? It takes a beautiful, pleasant weekend, Father's Day weekend, okay? And has a march in order to rattle the cage. And so I don't know how many people came out. They don't even have numbers anymore. All right? How many people attended? That would be nice to know. And once again, both sides do agree that you honor the military. But one side just feels that it's a little bit obnoxious considering his stand, what is, the way in which he has treated the military, and by sending in someone like Pete Hedgehog to be in charge of it, which shows no respect, none whatsoever, and has said things about generals that are just because the generals really don't agree with him. And he attacks them, please. Has not a magnanimous bone in his body. Not one. Because he's in that sandbox. And I felt watching those soldiers walk down the street and the tanks and the military, just like I felt when I was, watching him watch them. I felt like I did when I was 7, 8, and I got my first little soldiers and army men, and I would set them up for their little battles and marches, and had and got all of the military equipment, and got that glue out, and made a tank, and got a little whatever on the buzz on that, and thought, "Ooh, boy, is this a great thing!" And the airplanes, the fighter plane I made, that was that was what a child does and enjoys it and becomes enamored and might become enamored with joining the military. I did not, but I did think, it was certainly fun. Like he thinks it's fun, because he really doesn't respect it. No, he does not. And I don't care if you tell me, well, you don't know. Mm-mm. I can go through, if you want, I could devote a whole session to reading the things that he said. Okay? Or where he hasn't shown up, or when he hasn't been there when he needed to be there. So please. But it is Father's Day I'm talking to you on, and I would like to take a moment to celebrate my father, Sam Black, and I'm moving back a little. I don't want to run over his tail, not my dad's tail, but Sammy the dog, named after Sam, my father, and I also call him Sam. This, by the way, is... you've seen this some of you have seen this before. Comes from, designed from his painting. And he was a brilliant, I believe, the older I get and look at the work, a brilliant artist in his own right. A hard-edged abstractionist, he called himself. And what does that mean? It means... if you know Mondrian, I asked him who his favorite painter was. He said Mondrian. I said, which I didn't understand until I went to a Mondrian exhibition a while back in England. And he, because it was, these kind of squares. Well, Mondrian did more than that. But these squares of color. And he said, my father said he had the best, Mondrian had the best sense of color. And that's why he liked him. I also think that my father liked that design that he saw there, because all of my father's stuff had a design to them. And as Will Bruner, his teacher, said to me once, he put on an exhibition of my father's stuff, and it was very large for his large paintings. And it was, he said that my father's, a lot of my father's work deserved to be put on buildings, because it really was, they were that big, they were that expressive. That's where they needed to be to kind of express the art he was expressing. I mean, it's amazing to me. That was one of the most extraordinary statements I'd ever heard. My father was a man of extraordinary principles. He worked, and I'm telling the story again, and if you have a copy of Nothing Sacred, this is a repetition somewhat of that story, but and I think this is a good day to tell it, especially after what's been going on out there. He was an engineer, a mechanical engineer, and he designed sea mines. Those are what people use to protect their harbors during war. You put them in they basically lay in the water like a landmine, only they're in the water and were used as a protection. And my father, who did not really want to be designing these types of weapons, really wanted to move on from that, but couldn't because we had kind of moved toward more of a manufacturing these kind of things. So when he tried to become involved in designing for things like Maytag or refrigerators, washing machines, to get involved in that type of industry, he couldn't. The jobs were fewer and fewer and fewer. He was Jewish. That didn't help at that point in time. And but for a while, through the war, when he became, when he got his first job, which was instead of going to war, he worked as a designer and as an engineer, and afterwards. And so there was a time frame in which this all made sense to him, and probably through the beginning of at the beginning of the Korean War, and he was really still at that point trying to get out. And then afterwards, he stuck with it because he had a family, and he stuck with it, and then we got into the war in Vietnam, and my mother started yelling and screaming about it from the very beginning, and it drove her nuts. And she was involved in the Women's Strike for Peace, and she was dead set against this war. And I don't think it had anything to do. It didn't matter what they said. The government said. She was dead set against it. Okay, she was dead set against war and dead set against sending our kids to war, and I was one of those kids. My father said he wasn't sure. There was something called the Geneva Accords, which the government was screaming it was the basis for this war. And my father, and as far as I know, if you know of anybody else, tell me, actually said to my mother, I'm going to read the Geneva Accords and we will see if there's a reason for them to be there. And if there is, I don't want to hear it from you anymore. We're not going to argue about this. And so he sat down and I watched him read this. I must have been, my God, maybe 17, 18, I think, 18, closer to 18. And I watched him read it. And he finished it and announced that having read the entire Geneva Accords, that he could find no legitimate reason that the government said that they found there. He said, it's not there. There's no reason we should be in Vietnam. None. And that was that. I believe also he probably must have read some other things, but that was really what tripped the trigger for him. And he was done with it. And that was the end of his support of the war. And then we mined Haiphong Harbor a bit later. And at that point, my father was profoundly moved because they were taking something that he had worked on and done, the sea mine, and that had been used as a defensive weapon, which he could live with, and turned it into an offensive weapon. And he did not want to be a part of it. And the only way he could express that would be for him to retire. And he did. And it cost him somewhat of his pension. And at a time when my brother was going to school, I was ending up school. My brother was really kind of in his second year, I believe. My memory gets a little cloudy because, it's all gone into this maintaining the gray in my hair, I guess, my memory. But be that as it may, he walked away from an income and went on Social Security, and it was lower than what he would have gotten. And my mother was working as a substitute teacher, and they agreed upon it. Unbelievable. And my father said no. And he then went and did what he wanted to do with his life, which was, I believe, what he wanted to do. He became an artist, which I think in his heart and soul he always was. And he apprenticed to someone who did stained glass and worked with them for a couple of years and would do stained glass in the basement. He did some pieces that are just wonderful, and I wish I had one to show you. He did some Tiffany glass, lampshades. He did a few of those. He did some things requested by friends of mine. And I have a mirror that's a Victorian mirror that he designed. He did a comic and tragic mask for my friend Jim Ingalls. It's stunning, really. I mean, it was really kind of amazing. And he worked. And at that point, too, he began to realize that he wasn't going to be able to do this as long as he wanted to. And so he began to go to art school, where Will Bruner and his wife was in her name's escaping me, which fucking upsets me, but I don't want to stop. So Will and her basically spent years working with my father, teaching him. And my father really did some, I think, incredible work. Let's get that up. And I have like 80 to 100 paintings that I've stored, and I would like to get somehow an exhibition of his work, a gallery exhibition, if I could, put it up anywhere, and I've got to figure it out now that I do have the time. One of the things I want to do now that I do have the time and I'm leaving the road, that's, just so you know, people say, what do you got to do? That's one of the things I'd like to do, that and give people the opportunity to see it, and if they want it, to buy it. And where would the money go? To charity, to the things that he loved, which means it probably would go to theater and art and books. So his first exhibition, which my father had and where he was going to school, which was Montgomery College, and because he was a senior citizen, he was over the age of 60 or 65 at that point, he could go there for free, and he did, and it was huge for him. And he had they put two of his works on display there, and someone came in and stole both the paintings, and they asked my father if he was upset, and he said no, because obviously the person who stole them had a terrific eye and great taste. That was my father. And I miss him. And there's 1,000 questions I wished I'd asked. I got a few out, but in retrospect, that's the tough part. Were the questions I missed saying to him, asking him, wondering what he thought about. He was a quiet man, so at times I didn't really want to enter that space, because he seemed very content. Literally, it was like living with a Buddha at times, because there was always a sense of calm and contentment about him, something obviously has escaped me. And but I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, that's an extraordinarily principled man who walks away when he's, at a time in which he's saying, some things are, money is not as important as principles. And at this point in time, with what we are watching, that's a lesson that we all could learn. It certainly was an amazing for me to have someone who felt that way. And it, in part, it kind of fueled the fact that I could walk away from stuff and say, no, I'm not doing this. And I'm not putting up with this bullshit. But it was not on the level at which he did it. But he did teach me that there were things that you do fight for. And I believe in those things, which is why I sit here and scream like a lunatic with my boxes and my dog, Sammy, who I'm going to pick him up and he'll say goodbye. Sammy, come here. The folks want to see you. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep. See? Oh, there he is. He's a very good kisser. And I'm very lucky to have him. And since I can't have my dad, I can call him Sam. And I'm glad that he's a part of my life. Yep, he's a little tuckered out. He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. What he likes to do, if I may share, is when I take him for a walk, he sits and he just watches people, which is something my father liked to do. And yes, look, oh, isn't that sweet? He is a doll. And I just want to wish all fathers out there a very happy Father's Day. And now that I'm a father, I don't know how you do it with real, like live children, okay? Because, you know, the worst thing, it's not like he's not going to learn the language or manners or, you know, really the millions of things that you have to impart to a child. I'm just imparting like, you know, 4, 5, 6 commands and making sure he's fed. And it's pricey to do it with a dog. I don't know how people are doing it. And to say that, you know, giving a parent $5,000 to have a baby is lunacy. You know, giving him $5,000 to have a dog might work for 5 years if the dog doesn't get sick. But he's a good kid, and it was really good to spend time with you. I've got some very good rants, and I want to tell you the rants get better and better and better. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be going off to Chautauqua, where I've curated this comedy week, and I won't be doing. I'll be doing hopefully a live Rant is due. If not, where an edited version will be seen and heard. And I'm looking forward to that. And everything that will be read there will come from that community and the folks who were there that night. And he's ready to go. He's ready to go. He wants to say goodbye. And as you can see, the incredible job I'm doing with him. Okay, kid. Say goodbye. Arf! And that's what I got. It's me, Sammy, and Sam, living through the lunacy today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me read those rants. Thank you for being a part of my life. I can't tell you how important it is, and I'm serious. The rants are evolving, and get them to me. And even if I don't read them aloud, I do read them. I'm going to be submitting some to see if I can possibly get that book done. Enjoy your summer. I hope you had an incredible Father's Day, all you fathers out there, and ate all the fatty foods you wanted to. Then take a break, and it'll be July 4th, and back to the trough. Have you ever looked at your to-do list and thought, yeah, I'll let future me handle that? That's where this week's sponsor, Indacloud, comes in. It's just a quick edible, and suddenly overwhelmed and spiraling becomes cozy and snacky. Indacloud makes legal hemp-derived THC products that are actually good. Not the mystery edibles your roommate's cousin made in his air fryer. No, these are gummies, vapes, and pre-rolls that are strong tasty, and get the job done. All of their products are third-party lab tested and 2018 Farm Bill compliant, and every order is shipped discreetly to you so your mailman doesn't judge, and neither will your roommates. I use the Indacloud for sleep. That's what I've always used the gummies for, to get a good night's sleep. And it sure beats picking up a pharmaceutical. Because you might find with those that you wake up in the middle of the night and you'll be wandering around and who knows where you'll end up. And that's a true story. But I find that the gummies do the job. And if anybody needs a good night's sleep, it's me, so that I can continue to yell and scream like a lunatic. So if you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress, because Indacloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus free shipping. Just use code Lewis, Lewis, or click the link in our show notes to claim your discount. That's Indacloud.co, Indacloud.co. Use code Lewis for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. And when you order, there's a quick survey, and filling it out not only helps support the show, but it will keep Indacloud sending you the good stuff. So go ahead, grab a gummy and vibe out with Indacloud. Did I say vibe out? Yeah, I guess I did. I want to talk to you about Ridge, the iconic wallet brand known for its unique, slim, modern design that fits into your pocket better than a traditional and bulky wallet. But its slim design doesn't mean it's not efficient. Ridge wallets hold up to 12 cards plus your cash. They're made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber, with over 50 colors and styles to choose from. Right now, my listeners get 10% off at Ridge using code Rantcast at checkout at www.ridge.com. Ridge is now more than just about wallets. They create premium everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and rings, all built with the same sleek, durable design Ridge has become known for. All Ridge products have a lifetime warranty, making them literally the last wallet you'll ever have to buy. They have RFID blocking technology that keeps you safe from digital pickpockets. And since nobody likes losing their wallet, Ridge now has a new AirTag attachment feature, so you no longer need to panic the next time you misplace your wallet. You know, I was seriously getting ready to buy a Ridge and see what I thought about it, and they got in touch with me. Before that, I mean, this is unbelievable, but they did, and said, would I be interested in talking about them and advertising them on the show? And I said, well, let me give it a try, and I have. And the difference between this and the wallet that I carry around, my wallet is like a suitcase. I just shove stuff in it all day long. This at night is a spectacular alternative. I find it to be a spectacular alternative all the time. But if you want to Belize during the day, use your old wallet. And you heard me. I said Belize. Simple, easy, right in my front pocket. For a limited time, my listeners get 10% off at Ridge by using code Rantcast at checkout. Just head to www.ridge.com and use code Rantcast, and you're all set. They will ask you how you heard about them. So tell them I sent you. Here's something from Miss K, a perfect way to start. A member of Congress in a recent town hall has received a lot of controversy. During a conversation about health care, she said something like, "We're all going to die someday." Wow. When was anybody who has a reasonable bit of sanity didn't know that? Honestly, can anyone imagine hearing that diagnosis from their physician? She can't be shocked by the people asking about health care cuts. Let me guess. Maybe it's because, I don't know, they don't want to fucking die. Then the apology came, and of all places, Little Miss, we're all gonna die someday, did it in a cemetery. I mean, really? You have to be fucking joking. Oh, and just for fun, she closed with, believe in her Lord and Savior for everlasting life. Isn't everlasting life promised to everyone that's strapped on a bomb? Huh? No disrespect of religion, but I'm fucking tired of it being used as a manipulation tool. The only thing missing in that apology from a cemetery was the running ad at the bottom. Call 1-800-BUY-PLOT. For 20% off, use the promo code Gonna Die Someday. Don't wait, purchase now. For a limited time only, while plots featuring peaceful views are available at a huge discount. To see discounted pricing, add to the cart. Disclaimer. Upkeep might be questionable due to the man who was underpaid and still took pride in his work and was recently deported. Peaceful views. Oh, God. You're under the dirt. You're not going to see shit. You're fucking dead. We might as well make it a timeshare program with future delightful plans of relocation under a freeway near you in a premium Gold Star city. A disclaimer, Gold Star City is based on AI. And then she sends a postscript just for me. I'm not sure how to go about this one, but you being a playwright might be able to elaborate. When ranting about the sheer callousness of You're Gonna Die, it made me think about my old basic high school education and learning about foreshadowing. Scary times ahead, I'm afraid. If we pull through this shit, I'm going to call this time the diaper days. It fits for a lot of reasons due to the gossip about old men on both sides. But for me, I'm just tired of constantly shitting my pants. Wow. I'm sorry if you didn't want me to read that for everybody, but I couldn't pass it up, Miss K. I couldn't pass it up. Thank you for that. I'll be talking about it probably. I'll be talking about it in the Rantcast. Oh, boy. From David S., why is it the bands, comedians, and sport teams always sell out of larger size, 3X and higher, merch first and never seem to restock? This hurts not only fat guys, but tall guys. And if you're both like me, you're just fucked. Seriously, it's always extra smalls and mediums being blown out on clearance. Does the entertainment industry just overproduce the small shit on purpose to be like, fuck you, tall and fat guys? Like if they know the larger sizes always sell out faster and Americans are bigger in general anyway, then why aren't they producing more of the largest sizes instead of the small shit that's going to end up on a clearance rack? It's a mystery to me. I've never understood. And we try at Merch to do what we can. And, you know, if it's not one thing, it's another. And I hope we do right by you, David. I think we've always got large sizes, but what do I know? I should, but I'm too busy reading rants and dealing with a dog. Man, wow. Stephen Cassidy, let it rip, okay? This rant is for the damn Christian Nationalists and their Bible-thumping, brimstone-preaching, inbred, low-IQ fucks. God created the earth, humans, and all living things, says the Bible, and cannot be from earth. The God, that is. He is an alien by the very fucking definition. Wouldn't they just shit if it turned out God was an alien from an advanced civilization, but the equivalent of a sixth grader, and our existence was no more than a discarded and forgotten science fair project that didn't even place in the top 10. Who would be the fucking nut jobs then, assholes? Wow, Stephen. You certainly, you nailed it on that. A science project that didn't hit the top 10. It would make a lot more sense than wow, especially during these days. You know, listening to honk, honk, quack, quack. Deisel Menard. I'm a 70-year-old man with sore bones, pain, and did heavy construction my whole life. And the only thing I know, after all my experiences, is you can lead, follow, or get the fuck out of the way. Whatever happened to common sense? Huh? And by the way, water still runs downhill. From Jack Raypatch, quick and to the point. a summer rant. Summer is too hot, too much pollen, too many storms, a bad doge, and trying to take away medical and lower taxes for the greedy. Looking forward to fall. From Ken Maclan, about trying to live one's life and trying to live a nice life. Well, I'll let Ken explain. I live in a town about 50 miles west of Boston, and I bought a condo in 2008. I've been frequenting a breakfast place down the street since I moved in. The food isn't the greatest and is not cheap, but I put up with it. Recently, the woman who bought the place about 3 years ago hired a fully incompetent short-order cook who fills in on Monday. I've had to send back about 5 breakfasts over the past few months due to his lack of skill. A waitress told me he fills in on Monday, so I avoided as much as possible. This last Memorial Day, I took a chance on a Monday. He was there. I was served fully overcooked scrambled eggs that were burnt. And the waiter, without any apology or comment, I said to him, "What the hell is this?" And he dumbly said, "There wasn't an issue as far as he could see." It was sent back again, and I was served runny scrambled eggs as replacement and paid extra on a holiday, $19 with a tip. Boy, I hope it came with the hash browns and some grits if they even serve them up there, some biscuits, maybe an English muffin, some sourdough bread. There should have been more than just runny scrambled eggs. Oh, back to Ken. Sorry, I took a moment there for you. Disgusted, I wrote a review on Yelp about this incompetent cook, hoping the owner might take notice and fire him. I ran into a regular customer I've known for years in a Walmart and told him to avoid Monday because of this cook. I also mentioned I posted a review about this issue. I went into the restaurant today knowing the good cook was working that day. The regular was sitting at the counter with 2 other Trumpers and started shouting at me, "What are you doing here? You always complain about the food. Go eat somewhere else." I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. I said, "Okay," and walked out, never to return. The waitress, who I'm on good terms with, said nothing to defend me and didn't correct him or kick him out. They're regulars. She puts up with their bullshit for the tips, I assume, although their conversational skills are on a caveman level. There's a group of 3 or 4 of these middle-aged guys who sit together at breakfast all the time. I speak with them occasionally. One guy in particular claimed once that he didn't know if Trump ever did anything wrong. He watches the news on the TV and makes a running commentary of racist and sexist remarks in front of a black female waitress and the women who work there within hearing constantly. He is one of the biggest idiots I've ever run into and was a town inspector until he recently retired. HR must have loved him. I'm thinking of writing to the owner about all this, but she'll find out soon enough as the reviews pile up and she loses more customers. To add insult to injury, there are 2 huge potholes in the parking lot. The floor needs a total redo, and the bathrooms should have been on the EPA radar a decade ago. Ken, I don't know how you lasted that long in this place with these people and for breakfast. I would think that one of the things it would have done was driven you to learn how to cook or maybe found a place down the road. I'm not saying you don't have a complaint, but when that guy, I'm glad you're not eating there anymore, but I just can't believe you last, 3 meals with the bad cook. I'm just surprised. I'm a little surprised, and thank you, Ken. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.